Back 24 hours later, the Blues, after a walk-off victory last night against the Arroyo Seco Saints, look to replicate this magic, although probably earlier in the game than they'd like to after that win yesterday against the Saints. But they snap a 2-game losing streak, and they look for another win today, the night before the fireworks show on July 3rd. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everyone. Nate Mills alongside Ryan Giacomini, and this is the Ancient Owl pregame show on the SLO Blues streaming network. Well, Ryan, the Blues got that win yesterday, a walk-off fashion, first walk-off of the summer for Diego Murillo, the third walk-off overall for the Blues. But, I mean, obviously, you'd like to get that win maybe a little bit earlier in the ballgame, not have to go into extra innings.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was just a little bit of complacency that happened. The Blues were up 5-0 going into the third. You just let the Saints crawl back in it. I think the Blues just needed to continue to add, and they didn't. They scored 0 in the third, and then they started to turn it back on offensively. But all around, I think it was one of the Blues' better games in every facet. There's a couple of errors. The pitching wasn't great, but the bat showed up. I think the pitching at times was exceptional, and I think it was really just the errors that killed the Blues. I mean, the Blues gave up 9 runs, only 3 of them earned. So those errors coming back to haunt the Blues in big ways.
Something that was good about the Saints yesterday is that their bottom of the order produced. There were 3 guys in the bottom 3 in that order that had multi-hit days. So when you have a team like that, where the lower part of your order is firing, that's when you know a team is playing well. And the Saints, obviously, one of the better records in all of CCL. They sit at second place in the CCL South, and they will stay there even after that walk-off loss last night against the San Luis Obispo Blues. But they're kind of hanging on by a thread. It's a tight race down there in the South. But yes, I agree, Ryan. I think this was a very well put together game for the Blues despite those errors. I believe there was a total of 4 on the night for San Luis Obispo. So definitely something they need to clean up. We talked about the turfus in pregame during batting practice today. That surface looks to be a little more level this afternoon against Arroyo Seco. But still, that shouldn't be an excuse to minimize some errors. There were certainly some throwing errors that could have been fixed for the Blues as well. It's not always on the ground. Well, getting the start yesterday for the Blues was Charlie Royal, and he gave a pretty good amount of length to this Blues as the starting pitcher with 4 innings of work, about 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts. I thought Charlie Royal looked solid against one of the better offensive teams in the CCL.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Royal was he was just throwing strikes. That's kind of the name of the game in the CCL. We've been saying it all summer long. If you throw strikes and force these hitters to hit the ball, you're going to be successful, especially at a ballpark like Sinsheimer where the ball just doesn't really fly. Anything that's lifted in the air is most likely going to hang up there and be caught. So I think Blues pitching just has to take away from what Royal did yesterday and throw strikes and make the hitters work. Royal only had 2 strikeouts, but that's because, he was just forcing soft contact from the Saints order.
And for you, Ryan, this team is so manic in many ways. You don't know which switch is going to turn on what day. Is it going to be a hit parade? Are they going to be able to get on base? Are they going to throw a lot of strikes? To you, what has been the most consistent part of the Blues this summer?
I mean, I would say it's been the pitching staff altogether. I mean, they've had a few bumps and bruises here and there, but we've seen games where the hitting hasn't been on, the fielding has been lackluster, but I feel like always the constant is the pitching. The pitching is going to go out there. They're going to give you pretty decent outings. They're going to keep the run numbers down. I would say it's just a matter of can Blues score runs? Can they help their pitchers out when they get soft contact, stuff like that are really going to hurt the Blues? As I mentioned, I mean, if the Blues have a perfect game in the field yesterday, they maybe, hypothetically, only give up 3 runs rather than the 9 that they actually gave up. So the pitching was solid. Defense just got to help them, and then the bats will come around at certain points of the game too.
Well, that pitching might stay solid through the end of the summer as Logan Groff, a former Blue, will return to San Luis Obispo on Monday. He's a right-hander from Cypress College, now a Vulcan from Hawaii Hilo, and that's going to be a huge add for this rotation, especially with the offense, as we're just talking about them needing to put together hits, losing Mason Ashlock yesterday, and Don Jordan and Brendan Comerford any day now.
Yeah, I think that's a huge addition for the squad. I mean, the Blues are just going to have to get scrappy with the guys they got left, and it'll be nice to have Groff, a good, proven arm for the Blues, on the mound.
Absolutely, and the Blues relied on him a lot last year, and I think the only hope that you can have if you're a Dean Trainer and that staff is to hope that he matches that same energy as he did last year. I look at Jackson Howe. He was one of the more reliable guys for the Blues too, and he sort of had a down year this season with San Luis Obispo. And this is coming off a year at Cuesta College where he got a little bit less reps than we're accustomed to seeing, so maybe there's a correlation there. But Howe's on the uptick as well, starting in a couple more games. Today's starter for San Luis Obispo, though, is Hawk Hill, and it's been a minute since we've seen him. He tends to leave a lot of fastballs over the plate to hitters to smack around the yard, but he is a recent commit of Northwestern Nazarene University, a D2 in Idaho that made it to the College World Series this past season. So congratulations to Hawk Hill. This is his first start after committing to a D2.
Yeah, big congrats to Hawk Hill. And yeah, we haven't seen him especially in the starting role, so it'll be interesting to see what the game plan is against the Saints team, which, I mean, they lead the league in average on-base percentage and slugging. So this is a team that can bang the ball. The Blues saw it last night with their 9 runs that they scored. So it'll be interesting to see how Hawk Hill attacks these batters. He's going to have to try to locate that fastball a little better than he normally does, and then incorporate this slider, changeup, curveball, and working it off that fastball.
Well, Hawk Hill started against the Menlo Park Legends the last time he had a start, and that was at College of San Mateo in the Bay Area. 4 innings of work, 10 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Definitely trying to right the ship today. He's been coming out of the bullpen ever since then. When I talked with him after that start, he said, I'm probably just going to come out of the bullpen for the rest of the summer. But now with a lot of arms leaving, like Jack Hickerson for the Blues, you lose a lot of depth in that rotation. We honestly thought that Robinson Lardner was going to get a 2-inning start today for the Blues, but it will be Hawk Hill today. So a big test for Hawk against one of the better offensive teams in the conference. Another left-handed heavy lineup for Arroyo Seco, 6 lefties in the lineup against the right-handed Hawk Hill. And the key for him is to not leave it over the plate too much. He's got some good pitches to execute, the fastball and the slider. Just try to hit it on the outer corners. You got Charlie Caruso behind the dish, and he's going to be a good leader for you if you're Hawk Hill, if you're trying to have an effective outing against the Saints today. Joseph Estrada is on the mound for Arroyo Seco. We talked about fastball heavy yesterday. This guy is really fastball heavy. 80% fastball thrower.
Yeah, he's going to pound the zone. The Blues have already seen him once this season, and they did a pretty good job against him. The Blues bats have to be ready, have to use the scouting report to their advantage, and I think it's going to be an ambush day. We might see a lot of strikeouts, but the Blues might be able to also barrel up some pitches in some early counts. If they're just going to get fastballs, that Estrada might leak out over the plate.
Blues trying to wait, watch, whack today against the Arroyo Seco Saints. They try to nab game 2 of a 3-game set with Arroyo Seco. There's an off day on July 4th. Then they will play 2 against the Walnut Creek Crawdads the 2 days after July 4th, and then they head down to Santa Barbara once again to play the Stars. But for now, it's game 2 against the Saints today. That's all we got for you on the Ancient Owl pregame show on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today. We'll send it down to the field and see you after this.
It's kind of crazy that they used to give that like 2.5 inches, and now it's only 6. That's like so minimal. So like the fact that they're like an average on the umpire's like 96%, and they only get that much money on pitches.
You know, there are some people here in the stadium that we need to thank. We don't thank them often enough. We'd like to thank our host families. These are local families that have opened up their homes to players from all over the country. They make it happen every summer. We couldn't do Blues baseball without our host families. So if you are a host family, thank you so much. And if you would like to be part of that family, the family of host families, if you're interested, no obligation needed. Just stop by the marketing tent, give them your name, say I'd like some information on being a host family, and someone will be in touch with you over the next few months. Thanks again to our wonderful host families.
Player development coach God has agreed to coach with the Orlando Magic
for the continuing growth of a quality baseball experience here on the Central Coast. To that end, spectators are asked to support their team in a positive manner and treat opposing fans and players with respect. Profanity, racial slurs, or otherwise unruly behavior will not be tolerated, and violators will be removed from the facility. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. The Blues are proud to announce today's free foul ball sponsor. That is the SLO County of Governments, or SLOCOG as they are known. Representing the SLO Council of Governments tonight is Pete Down Main Street Rogers. He is the executive director, and he is throwing out the first pitch. You know, we made a baseball card for Pete, and if you would like to get that card signed, there he goes. You can find Pete Down Main Street Rogers. just a moment or two and asked him for a signed baseball card. Once again, the free foul ball sponsor is SLO. Here's the starting lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Leading off, number 19, Lane Hayworth. And number 17, Trotter Enright. He's followed up by number 10, Jax Ryan. Number 2, Joey Milto, batting fourth. In the fifth spot, number 32, the designated hitter, Cody Turner. Then it's number 9, Gannon Snyder. Batting seventh, number 14, Matthew Maynard. Batting eighth, number 7, Levi Medella. And batting ninth, number 26, Keon Moseni. The starting pitcher for the Saints tonight is number 31, the right-hander, Joseph Estrada. And now the starting lineup for your San Luis Obispo Blues. Leading off, number 50, the center fielder, E.J. Royal. He's followed by number 7, the second baseman, Diego Murillo. Then it's number 18, the right fielder, Donovan Jordan. Batting fourth, number 25, the DH, Osai Suzuki. Batting fifth, number 10, Gavin Smith. Then it's number 2, Brendan Coverboard. Batting seventh, number 24, Charlie Caruso. Batting eighth, number 55, Sam Arduan. And batting number 9, 23 on his uniform, Sebastian Lopez. Starting pitcher tonight is the right-hander, Hawk Hill. The Blues are led by Dean Traynor. He is assisted by Brian Traynor, Rene Regalado, Paul Teixeira, Randy Kozar, Scheitz Garcia, and Braden Zeker. The head athletic trainer for the Blues is Jared Rosales. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to sing our national anthem is Molly Pizzuti. We would ask you to kindly stand if you're able and remove your hats. Molly?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reclaim the clock's first evening air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Molly. Molly Pizzuti, our vocalist for this evening's game. Here's the defensive lineup for the Blues. In left field, it's Gavin Smith, E.J. Royals in center, Donovan Jordan's in right.
Home U Wednesday at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues rocking their all-yellow tops in Game 2 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Hawk Hill on the rubber for San Luis Obispo for the first time in a few weeks after a road trip in Northern California. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Lane Hayworth played center field and leads it off, with Trotter Enright playing at third and batting second. Jax Ryan, the shortstop, will bat third, with Joey Milto playing in right, cleaning it up. Cody Turner, today's DH, bats fifth, with Gannon Snyder playing in left, batting sixth. Matthew Maynard is the catcher, batting seventh, with Levi Medella playing first base and batting eighth. Keon Mosini is the second baseman, batting ninth for the Saints. And here's the defensive alignment for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Charlie Caruso throws down the signs behind home plate, with Sebastian Lopez playing first base. Diego Murillo plays second, with Brendan Comerford playing third. Sam Ardois plays shortstop, Gavin Smith plays in left, EJ Royal in center, and Don Jordan right, with Kosei Suzuki DHing for the Blues. And on the mound for San Luis Obispo, it's the right-hander and a recent commit to Northwestern Nazarene University, Hawk Hill, a longtime Sonoma Stomper, making another start this summer for the Blues. He started last against the Menlo Park Legends in that Blues road trip in Northern California. Didn't quite go his way, allowing 8 earned runs in 4 innings of work. He looks for a big bounce back here against a conference opponent in the Arroyo Seco Saints, following a walk-off victory from last night. This is Hawk's third start of the summer. He's pitched in 16 2/3 innings, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks, 14 earned runs, and 24 hits. Trying to keep the lid on these Saints this afternoon, a team that leads the CCL in average slugging and OPS. Brendan Comerford, the third baseman, playing in, as the first pitch is a slider and a called strike at 6:09 p.m. Nice start for Hawk Hill, with the game time temperature being 64 degrees and sunny. Second offering misses high to Lane Hayworth, who leads it off. 1 ball and a strike. Hayworth led off yesterday for the Saints as he hits it off the hands and chops it foul for strike 2. He went hitless yesterday. A couple of unassisted putouts at first base for Zach Tollerman, a pair of walks and a fly out to Don Jordan in right field. He'll adjust his baggy yellow jersey from the windup on the rubber. Here's the 1-2. The leadoff man takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lane Hayworth is a rising junior in the transfer portal after 2 seasons at Wichita State. He was All-American Athletic Conference freshman team in 2024. 2-2, and he takes it for strike 3. Hawk Hill starts off his day with a K, and there's 1 gone in the first.
Number 3762. If that's you, go to the marketing tent.
Good start for Hawk. Not necessarily coming at you hard with velocity. He just delivered slider after slider to Lane Hayworth, and he caught him looking for strike 3. So 1 out. Here's Trotter Enright. Enright batting second for the second night in a row, and he is coming off a 1-for-5 evening for the Saints. The lefty digs deep in the back of the left-handed batter's box, as the first pitch is another sweeper and a called strike, 0-1. Enright, aside from hitting his single in the 5th, popped out twice, reached on air, and struck out last night. The 0-1. Enright shoots it the other way. It's a slow roller into the 5-hole, a base hit. Ardois can't get there in time. There goes the no-hitter for Hawk Hill, and a base runner with 1 out for the Saints.
Hawk Hill got some soft contact. It just had a little bit of slice to it from the lefty Enright, and Ardois was trying to glove it. I don't know even if he did glove it, if he was going to have a play at first, but nonetheless, it's a hit for the Saints, and now Hawk Hill has to try to mitigate the damage.
Yeah, I think Enright, that was just a seeing eye single right there. I mean, perfectly placed, just out of the reach of the shortstop Ardois. He put all effort on the line there. First pitch misses high and tight, ball 1 to Jax Ryan, the former Sun Devil turned Bear at Missouri State. And we talk about mascots a lot on the broadcast, Ryan, and I talked with Spencer Gallimore at batting practice today, and he said, "You're the guy that knows a lot about mascots, right?" I go, "Yes." He goes, "What's UC Colorado Springs, where he goes to school?" I go, "That's easy. The Cougars pick over to first, not in time." And I was immediately embarrassed because they're the Mountain Lions.
It's okay, man.
He just kind of stared at me when I said Cougars.
Nobody's perfect. It's fine.
Another pick, and back in time is the base runner Enright.
Well, the thing too, I feel like you're discrediting yourself because you said, Cougars, and immediately was met with a no, and then right away you were like, Mountain Lions. Like you knew it. You just didn't have the right wild cat.
Big cat?
Yeah, big cat.
Technically, they are the same cat, just a different name. A mountain lion and a cougar are the same big cat, just different nicknames.
You're there.
On
Half a point.
On a technicality. The 2-0. Swung on and sent straight back, strike one.
If I were grading your quiz, I would give you a half point.
Jax Ryan in the right-handed batter's box receives his sign from his third base coach, Aaron Millam, who's also the manager of this ball club. The 2-1. Ryan softly hits it to third. Comerford scoops it, flicks it to second for one. They go to first, and they turn the double play. Hawk Hill faces the minimum in the first frame of this ball game. We head into the bottom half of the first inning on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Hawk Hill faces the minimum in the top half of the first inning. They turn a double play started by Brendan Comerford at the hot corner, but they allow the first base hit of the day to Trotter Enright, the two-hole hitter for the Saints. Here's the starting lineup for the San Luis Obispo Blues. E.J. Rhodes, the center fielder, leading it off with the second baseman Diego Murillo batting second. The right fielder is John Jordan, he'll bat third, with Kosei Suzuki cleaning it up as the DH. Gavin Smith plays in left and he'll bat fifth. Brendan Comerford, the aforementioned third baseman, bats sixth, with Charlie Caruso catching and batting seventh. Batting eighth is the shortstop Sam Ardois, with Sebastian Lopez playing at first base, batting ninth for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Here's the defensive alignment for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Maynard behind the dish with Medella at first, Rossini at second base with Enright at third and Ryan at short. The outfield left to right is Snyder, Hayworth, and Nilto, with Turner DHing. And on the rubber for the Arroyo Seco Saints, it's the right-handed pitcher Joseph Estrada, making his third start of the summer for the Saints. He's pitched in 6 1/3 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, 8 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks in his 6 1/3 innings pitch. A lot of fastball for the righty Joseph Estrada, 80% to be exact. The secondary pitch you're most likely going to see is that slider, which he throws 14% of the time. So here's E.J. Royal, the first batter he'll face in the bottom of the first in a scoreless ball game. Royal with a mock neck in dark blue takes the first pitch, and it's a called strike, 0-1. Blues wearing their baggy yellow jerseys today with their golden bee caps. If anything, the Saints look more like the Blues with their navy blue tops. The 0-1. And that pitch is taken outside, a sweeper for ball one. EJ led off yesterday for the Blues and went hitless. 4 ground ball outs and 2 walks. 1-1. EJ will take it, and that's a called strike, 1-2.
Dean just has so much confidence in EJ. They'll put him right back at the top of the order. He's going to have a good day today, I feel it.
You can never go wrong putting EJ at the leadoff spot. The 1-2. Royal takes a sweeper outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. EJ with his .414 on-base percentage. It's pretty good, and it's good enough to be in the leadoff spot. The best on-base percentage of what is left of this Blues roster as he moves into a 3-2 count. Mason Ashlock departed yesterday from San Luis Obispo. He was the former team leader in on-base percentage at .456. And now it's EJ at .414. Payoff pitch. EJ pops it up on the right side. The first baseman, Medella, is called off by Maynard, who will make the grab.
Maynard seeing his first action against the Blues this summer. Makes a basket catch there in his first at-bat behind the dish. A little bit of a scary play there.
So here's Diego Murillo, yesterday's walk-off hero. Hit an RBI single right back up the middle to score the winning run, Sam Artois, to cap a victory for the Blues. He takes strike one here. It was off Garrett McGeegan, right-handed pitcher for the Arroyo Central Saints. The Blues solidified a 10-9 win last night. Pitches swung on and missed, and that's strike two. Murillo yesterday reached on base in checked out 5 of his 6 plate appearances. The 0-2. Diego takes it, and that's strike 3. Slider on the outer half of the plate. Back-to-back outs here in the first for Joseph Estrada.
Arroyo just didn't take the bat off the shoulder. He was waiting for a pitch more in and never got it. Strikes out on 3 pitches, all looking.
I guess you could say he got a good sample size and an idea of the arsenal of Joseph Estrada, which seems to be pretty evenly split at fastball and slider, despite the numbers that have been presented throughout the rest of the season. Here's Don Jordan now. Jordan swings and misses the first pitch for strike 1. Don yesterday went 1 of 5. Reached on air, singled, struck out, lined out, and grounded into a double play in the 8th inning. Jordan almost hit by a fastball inside. He's bargaining for a call on his forearm that hit, but doesn't get the call. And now the home plate umpire calling the first and third base umpires to have discussion about this. I mean, no one had a better angle than the home plate umpire.
I mean, maybe somebody could. I guess if they could see it while while Don was turning away, maybe they could see something or see a different ball flight. They changed the call, so must have seen something.
Okay, well that got Don Jordan on the elbow, and he'll take first base. A 2-out hit by pitch puts a runner on first. You might be right, Ryan, about the different angle thing, but certainly the home plate umpire had the best ears in that situation.
I mean, as one of the base umpires, it's possible because that pitch, especially was a slider, maybe the third base umpire was able to see that it hit Don Jordan and then took a different angle than it was originally coming in, or maybe saw the spin change or something along those lines.
I think Millam is pretty confused and had the same reaction I did when the meeting was initially called. Who could possibly have a better angle than you? You were 2 feet away from Don Jordan, so Millam retreats into the dugout. Don Jordan still stands at first base. And it's the cleanup hitter, Kosei Suzuki. First pitch, and Kosei will take it, a called strike, 0-1. Suzuki, a LaSalle commit after a couple of seasons of community college in the Lone Star State of Texas. Started in yesterday's game and batted 7th. Takes a pitch outside, 1 ball and a strike. Recorded a double in that game. A part of a 1-for-5 day for Kosei. Double was in his first plate appearance. He struck out, popped out to first, lined into a double play, and flew out to left. The 1-1. Suzuki hits a grounder to short. Ryan gets it, flips it to second for the force out, and the side is retired. So Don Jordan's hit by a pitch with 2 outs, but Suzuki grounds out to short, and they get the force out to end the inning. We head into the second, tied at 0, on Slow Blue Streaming Network.
On to second, and leading off will be the fourth batter in the lineup for the Saints.
Second inning and scoreless between the Arroyo Seco Saints and the San Luis Obispo Blues. Hawk Hill faced the minimum in the top half of the first inning, and 4 batters faced in the bottom of the first for Joseph Estrada. So Hawk impatiently waits on the rubber for Joey Milto to dig in, the left-hander batting fourth. Milto takes the first pitch, and it's a called strike, 0-1. Joey started yesterday and batted fifth for the Saints. An 0 for 4 day, a golden sombrero day for Joey Milto. 4 strikeouts. The 0-1, and Milto will take this one for strike 2. Milto also famously scored the tying run in the 10th as an automatic runner in extra innings. The Blues eventually ended up winning in a walk-off fashion from a Diego Murillo RBI single. The 0-2. Milto chops it on the ground right side. Murillo charges it, throws across his body to Lopez at first base in time for the first out of the inning.
Murillo has looked so smooth on the infield, regardless of where he's playing, whether it's second or short. He's just looked really good right there. I mean, that was a pretty routine play, but still to make a throw on the run, able to get the first out. The Blues need some routine play. They lead the league in errors, and that only includes league play, but the Blues need just a better defense.
Murillo's been a steady hand at second base as Cody Turner steps up at the dish, batting fifth today for the Saints. First pitch, and Turner takes it as strike 1. Yeah, Murillo very level-headed out there at second. He's gotten a plethora of reps playing middle infield, going back to when he was about 5 or 6 years old. As Turner torches this one to right field, it gets down for a base hit and one hops the wall. Jordan loses his hat, he throws it in. Turner will easily trot into second. The throw was close though. A stand-up double for Cody Turner with 1 out.
We didn't even get an opportunity to talk about Cody Turner.
First extra base hit of the day for the Saints, and it came hot off the press of Cody Turner. 103 miles an hour from Cody Turner. That's hot sauce. Here's Gannon Snyder, who batted 9th yesterday for the Saints. First pitch. Snyder takes it, that's strike 1. Turner, a two-way player, standing on second base, pitched in a game yesterday against the Blues as well. A 2-time Western State Conference Player of the Year at Antelope Valley College. And here's Snyder, who was 1 for 3 yesterday with a sacrifice fly and an RBI single. Snyder shoots it over the Blues dugout for strike 2. Again, I just, these numbers, you can't tell the story of Cody Turner without just at least mentioning this. He had a quote down year last year, Ryan. An 830 slugging instead of a 930 slugging his freshman season at Antelope Valley College. I know that could spell trouble for his future later, Ryan. What do you think?
Maybe.
The 0-2. Flinching, but leaving it outside is Gannon Snyder.
I mean, Nate and I have been saying it these last 48 hours. Why is Cody Turner not in the MLB? I mean, almost 1,000 slugging. Boom, drafted. I want you.
I don't care what level it is.
Yeah. 1,000 slugging in Little League. Boom, I want you.
The 1-2. This one slapped to shortstop. Artois scoops it up, throws it across his body, and can't make the play. Gannon Snyder beats out an infield single as Cody Turner stays at second. Back-to-back hits for the Saints.
The only positive to that is that Cody Turner doesn't move up a back. So now you have a force at any base. You could turn a double play. He essentially just gave up that free bag like via a walk or something along those lines.
Here's Matthew Maynard, a catcher from Oral Roberts.
Just number 14, the catcher, Matthew Maynard.
Native of Allen, Texas, which if you're familiar with Allen, Texas, they have that crazy football stadium that you always see on social media that goes, this high school invested this many $1 million at a high school stadium. That's the hometown he's from. He takes ball 1 here against Hawk Hill. Runners on first and second for the Saints. Top of the second inning, a scoreless ball game. Hawk Hill delivers. The sweeper misses outside, 2-0.
Now Hawk has a little bit of a jam, though. He's going to have to work out of it. Try to keep this a 0-0 ball game.
Maynard is 3 of 22 this summer. Runners get their leads off first and second. 2-0, man, it misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Press box is having fun.
Our PA announcer, Jim, just got a corn dog delivered by his wife that's about 2 feet long.
3-0. And this one is taken outside. That's ball 4, and it loads the bases for the Saints. First walk of the day issued from Hawk Hill. Turner's at third, Snyder's at second, and Maynard's at first. I can't say I've ever laughed that hard at a corn dog.
I think they were just surprised because it, came in a box, and so they opened the box, and it was like bent so that it could fit all the way in the box, and they opened it up, and I mean, it's quite the hot dog, or corn dog, excuse me.
Getting the bat. Here's Levi Medella playing first base today, just as he did yesterday for the Saints. Batted 7th, moved down 1 spot. Off the hands, he pops it up to the left side of the infield. Comerford's in foul ground, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Gigantic out for the Blues.
That's a big out right there, bases loaded. Now the Saints have to get a base hit to score a run instead of a sacrifice fly. So here's Keon Massini. Massini came in late yesterday's game after their second baseman, Freer, was hit in the face with a throw down to second. Turner at third, Snyder at second, and Maynard at first, the first pitch. And Massini takes a called strike again on that sweeper from Hawk Hill, 0-1.
Sweeper has a lot of late movement, and it's a pretty good pitch because it looks almost like it's just going to be a changeup and float away, and then it kind of zips last second.
0-1. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 2. Coney Turner stands on third, represents the go-ahead run at the top of the second. Mussini, the batter, and Turner used to be former teammates at Antelope Valley College in 2023. From the lineup, the 0-2. Taken low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mussini now no longer at Antelope Valley. He's now a Bear at Central Arkansas. There was a time in JUCO at Antelope Valley where he was first team all-conference as a utility player in 2023. 0-1-2. This is high and tight, and a hit by pitch will bring in the first run of the game for the Saints. Keon Mussini is hit on the elbow, and Cody Turner scores 1-0 Arroyo Seco.
Cannot have that if you're Hawk Hill. You're up 1-2 in a count, and you just try to sneak a fastball in the inner part. You get it a little too far in. You got to have better control of that pitch. That's a huge pitch.
So it's the top of the order now. Lane Hayworth. Hayworth digs in with the bases loaded, and he takes a called strike, 0-1. Hayworth struck out looking to start the game. A good omen for Hawk Hill to begin his outing. His third start of the summer for the Blues, the 0-1. Hayworth takes it inside, a ball and a strike. Has ended up not quite going that way, as he has just hit a batter and allowed a run to score against the Saints. Here's the 1-1. This one drilled into right field. Jordan moves back in front of the warning track, and he makes the running grab for the final out of the inning. Loud out from Lane Hayworth, and the Saints strand the bases loaded, but they get on the board first. 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the second inning on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the second inning is brought to you by Educational Employees Credit Union, conveniently located in Paso Robles. You can also find them at myeecu.org. Experience smarter banking with Educational Employees Credit Union. 5-6-7 due up for San Luis Obispo, and what is now a 1-0 ball game, the Saints lead the Blues after Hawk Hill hit a batter and a run came in to score. 1-0 here to Gavin Smith against Joseph Estrada, who faced 4 batters in the first inning, and he hit a batter himself. Smith takes it for a called strike, 1-1. Don Jordan got hit on the elbow, and if you're a Blues fan and are aware of the lore of Don Jordan, you understand that's a scary moment. Yanked fastball low and outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, you don't want to see Don Jordan get hit anywhere, and I didn't comment it at the time, but when he rolled away from that pitch, he made sure that those ribs stay out of the way.
Jordan dealing with a rib injury, a hamate bone injury, and ultimately what is leading to his decision to exit early this summer as a Blue. We got a limited time with him left just throughout this weekend, and no more Don. Arguably the best hitter in this lineup for the Blues, certainly the most productive. The 2-2. Smith hits it off the hands. It's a slow roller to the third baseman Enright, who takes a couple shuffles before throwing to first to get Smith out for the first out of the second. Here's the third baseman, Brendan Comerford, another Blue who will be departing shortly, per the request of Gonzaga. He bats 6 today and plays third base. Brendan batted 6th and played third yesterday, too. And a sneaky good day, a 2-for-5 afternoon for the Blues with 2 singles, one of them producing a run. Takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Aside from that, a couple of strikeouts and a flyout. The 1-0, and he's hit square on the back. Comerford will reach first, the third hit by pitch of the game. And I don't know what the home plate umpire is saying to Brendan. I think, is he saying that he didn't make an effort to get out of the way of the pitch? Oh, no, he'll go to first. That's a confusing situation there. I believe that's what they're talking about, right? I don't know what else they could be saying.
I have no idea what else they could be discussing.
The rule is you have to make an effort to get out of the way of a pitch, otherwise it's a called strike. But, I mean, that was going to hit him regardless. Comerford rolled inside, and that's what you are taught to do when a pitch comes towards you. Turn the back towards the pitcher. And that's what Brendan did. That's why he's holding the back of his tricep. And there you go, a hit by pitch. He will get first base. Already a wonky game through the first 1.5 innings. So a one-out base runner, Brendan Comerford, is hit by a pitch. He's the team leader in that metric, and it's kind of not even close. That's his 10th hit by pitch of the summer. Second place, there's a tie between Brady Alves and Zach Tallman with 4. Here's Charlie Caruso with a runner on first now in the middle of the infield, playing back for double play depth. Takes it outside, 1-0. Caruso making his 7th start in a Blues uniform this afternoon. 2 hits in his 19 at-bats. One of them for extra bases, a moonshot of a triple. The 1-0, and Caruso takes a changeup, and that's a called strike, 1-1. Nice night at Sinsheimer, another chill night at the park. Up here in the press box, we just caught a good whiff of burgers.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
Yes. The 1-1. Caruso shoots it right back up the middle, kicks off the mound and goes into center field, a base hit. The center fielder Hayworth misplays it. Comerford almost jetted towards third, but he'll stay at second. First hit of the day for the Blues, and don't look now, but Charlie Caruso is starting to hit stride.
That Blues could use that right now with a lot of guys departing. Might see Caruso and other catchers in that DH spot more. And if Caruso, if his bat's going to come around, the Blues could use his production.
Here's Sam Artois as the home plate umpire ties his shoelace down the third base line.
I mean, you gotta make sure you're taking care of yourself, right? With only 3-man crew, he has to move up that baseline sometimes, and you want to trip over a shoelace and hurt yourself.
In an inning, we have seen a baseball kick off the mound, a home plate umpire tie his shoelace down the third base line, 3 hit by pitches. This is something. Here's Sam Artois, the shortstop, batting 8th. The first pitch, Artois takes it low and outside, 1-0. As I said when I was writing down the scorebook today, wrote the record of the Saints incorrectly, even though I had wrote it correctly prior. It's just one of those days. High and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. To quote Slipknot. You know that song, right?
No.
It's just one of those days where you just don't want to wake up. If you heard it, you'd know. Artois swings and misses for strike 1. Spotify is coming out. Brendan Comerford at second. He represents the tying run. Charlie Caruso stands at first. He recorded the first Blues hit of the day off a single that went off the mound. High bounding ball to the shortstop, Ryan, who throws it over to third, and the tag is not in time to get Comerford. That would be a force play.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Trotter Enright had because he was never on the base, and then I tried to apply the tag. And I think Jax Ryan kind of looked at him like, that was a force out.
Yeah. So Enright's feet were not on third. He was trying to go for the tag, forgetting that there was a force play at third base. So the bases are now loaded, and Artois reaches on a fielder's choice in the bottom half of the second inning. Here's Sebastian Lopez, the first baseman from Seattle. Lopez takes the first pitch high, 1-0. Nothing, Ryan? Look up Slipknot. Should be their most popular song. I don't know the name of it. I know it's unhelpful. Take it outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Lopez. Sebastian in the driver's seat. He's driven in a run this year already. He's 1 for 7, a very small sample size. He hasn't gotten to play that much for the Blues. From the stretch, Joseph Estrada in a base. From the stretch, Joseph Estrada in a bases loaded situation takes a long pause on the rubber. The 2-0. Lopez swings and misses big for strike 1. Two-one, it's Lopez, and the Blues tie it. Sebastian Lopez is hit by a pitch, and it's a 1-1 game. It scores Brendan Comerford.
Getting any deja vu there, Nate? Yeah, me too.
That's exactly how the Saints got their first run of the ball game, in the top half of the inning. Limp Bizkit, not Slipknot.
I was gonna say this does not really sound like the type of music that would say it's just one of those days.
It is Limp Bizkit. Royal swings at the first pitch, sends it into the shortstop Ryan, and they turn the double play. But it is a 1-1 game. The run does not score on the 6-4 free double play. We head into the third tied on the Slow Blues streaming network.
Second base. for the Saints.
2-3-4 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints in a tied ball game. Both runs in this game have come via a hit by pitch with the bases loaded. It's been a peculiar day. Leadoff man Trotter Enright shows bunt and pulls it back as he takes strike one. Talked about how there's been 3 hit by pitches today, 4 hit by pitches. Enright swings and pops it up down the left field line and foul, strike 2.
Peculiar day.
Home plate umpire tying his shoelace down the third base line. I don't think you think that's weird as much as I do.
No, I mean, what is it? I mean, I guess you could wait until in between innings, but at that point, you got to make a play, you got to run down the line, and you trip and fall. Like, too late.
I just haven't seen it all that often.
Yeah,
I would say. Or it's like at the plate, or it's in between innings.
Yeah, definitely an oddity, but like I would do the same exact thing. I feel if I were the umpire, because I don't want to trip and hurt myself, and then you fall, and you can't make the call.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hawk Hill records his second strikeout of the day. Both, check that. Trotter Enright goes down for the first time today. Lane Hayworth was the other strikeout. You ever see what umpire shoes look like?
Yes.
Where do you get those?
An umpire store? I don't know.
First pitch swinging is Jax Ryan. He sends it to center. Royal is there right away. An easy second out for Hill. The umpire store.
I don't know.
I really only see that shoe on 2 people. People who work at Taco Bell and umpires.
I'm honestly not wrong. Umpatire.com. The umpire store.
That would be the place. Here's Joey Milto. Milto takes ball 1.
More normally, it looks like they have it on Amazon as well.
Here's a 1-0 to Milto. Joey tanks it to right, but it's foul. Never really dissected the umpire's shoe. You could just wear turfs, but
they don't protect the feet. The whole point of the big, beefy foot is that it has a little protection
oh, it
on
comes with.
Yeah, it comes with the protector.
1-1. Milto off the hands, bleeds it into right field, and a 2-out base hit for the Saints. 4th knock of the day for Arroyo Seco. This one comes off the bat of Milto. Runner on first with 2 outs. See, I always thought the umpires wore a shin guard like a catcher, and you know how it has the built-in toe flap pad thing? Built in. That'll run you about $150 for umpire shoes. Do they have to be shiny? First pitch to Turner is taken for a strike.
Yeah, how do they stay shiny? I mean, there's no way all these umpires are shining their shoes, and they literally stand in dirt for 3 hours.
Baseball is a game of traditions. It's old school in many ways. And I would say the profession of shoe shining is of the same sentiment. You pick over to first, and Milto's back in time.
I didn't know New Balance was in the umpire shoe game.
Well, they are in the baseball shoe game.
True.
They make great. I always wear their cleats.
Mizuno,
Yeah.
Skechers got some.
Yeah, that'd be comfy. The 0-1 sent straight back for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Cody Turner, who recorded a double in the second. It was hammered at 103 miles an hour. Joey Milto stands on first. He represents the go-ahead run early in this game in the top of the 3rd. 2 outs and an 0-2 count to Turner. Pick over at first. Milto's there in time again. So maybe that's why it is so important to tie your shoes as an umpire, because it's hard to actually access your laces because of the flap pad.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
0-2. Sent straight back. We'll do it again, and no balls and 2 strikes. So how does it become undone in the first place then?
Huh. Got me stumped. By the way, Cody Turner's in the box. He's a 940 slug.
Pick over to first. It's close, but Milto's back. Not the same slugging numbers this summer, though. It's not quite 940. Turner pops it up. It's playable down the left field line. Sliding is Smith, and he can't make the play. A new life for Cody Turner in an 0-2 count in the midst of a battle against Hawk Hill. Turner instead has a 389 slugging this summer.
Coming down to earth.
A significantly smaller sample size, I will say, too. Only 18 at-bats heading into today's game. Runner on first, it's Joey Milto. 2 outs in the third inning. Hawk Hill stands in from the stretch, making his third start in a Blues uniform. 1-1 game. Here's the pitch. Turner pops it up again. This time, this one spun into the Saints bullpen. Turner's just missing these offerings from Hawk Hill. Sliders that are hung on the outer half of the plate. Turner's poking at it and staying alive in this at-bat. Not pitches he can necessarily crush over the wall. Strikes, but not ones he wants to strike out on. 0-2, runner goes. It's taken outside. Here comes the throw from Caruso. The tag from Artois is not in time. Sam slapped it on the ankle of Milto, sliding headfirst in the second base, but not enough. A stolen bag for the right fielder.
6th stolen base of the season for Joey Milto.
First ball of the at-bat to Cody Turner. He stands in a 1-2 count against Hawk. Gannon Snyder stands on deck. He recorded a base hit in the second inning. Here's the 1-2. Turner checks his swing. He did not go around, so that'll be ball 2. It's a close call there. Eight pitch on the way to Cody Turner, who stands with an open stance in the batter's box, which is essentially withered away at this point with all the movement that has happened around home plate. That chalk is hanging on by a thread. Grounder to second. Murillo gets it on a tough hop and throws it over to first in time. The side is retired. A runner stranded on 1 hit, no runs, and it's a 1-1 game heading into the bottom half of the third on the Slow Blues streaming network.
37.
New pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's the left-hander from UC San Diego, Nathan Huey.
We got one inning on the season with the Saints. In that inning, he recorded 1 strikeout and 1 walk.
Mario takes low for ball 1 against the new pitcher, Nathan Huey.
High ball game near the bottom of the 4th.
Popped up right side. Second baseman Mosini comes out, and he will make the catch, calling off Milto in right field. 2 pitches, 1 out for the new pitcher, Nathan Huey, the Triton from UCSD. And Mario is 0 for 2 today. So there's Don Jordan. Was hit by a pitch the last time he was up. He was forced out at second base to end the inning off the bat of Kosei Suzuki. We got some more on Nathan Huey, a Yorba Linda, California native, 6'2", 200-pound southpaw, and a rising junior at UCSD. Sweeper misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Huey this past season only pitched in 3 innings for the Tritons, giving up 2 hits and 4 earned runs, 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. The 1-0. Jordan swings and foul tips it off the face of Maynard behind home plate. That's strike 1. One-to-one ball game in the bottom half of the 3rd. The Sinsheimer Stadium that is slightly more filled out tonight as opposed to last night. The 1-1. Jordan takes it outside, 2 balls and a strike. This was expected, as tomorrow is essentially the Blues Super Bowl. Firework night on July 3rd, the biggest game of the year. Leading up to that, the attendance is always low. The 2-1. Jordan takes it high and outside, 3 balls and a strike. Fans anticipating for that firework night tomorrow. Ryan and I can't wait. We got the Saints again at 6 p.m. The 3-1. Jordan takes it outside, and that's ball 4. Has reached on base in his past 2 plate appearances. 1 a hit by pitch, now a walk, and that brings up Kosei Suzuki. That's the first walk of the day for the Blues offense as well.
It's been a thing that the Blues have not done a lot, is draw walks. And today they've got a walk and 3 hit by pitches, 4 free passes that the Blues have garnered.
So here's Suzuki now, the righty, standing upright in his stance. Resting his bat on his shoulders, lifts it up and takes the first pitch high, 1-0. Kosei grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first inning. The lefty comes set as he peeks at Don Jordan at first base. Jordan takes off. The throw is high. Here it comes to second. It kicks into center field. Jax Ryan can't get there. Jordan hustles to third. A stolen base and an error from the catcher Maynard. And the go-ahead run standing 90 feet away for Kosei Suzuki.
That's what Don can do on the base pass. He can just wreak some havoc.
Certainly knows how to put pressure on. With that 60-yard dash that Ryan and I were ogling over yesterday. 6.39 seconds. The average, once again, is about 7 seconds. Here's Kosei with the infield playing in now with a runner at third and an out. Suzuki pops it up to left. This should score Jordan as Snyder gets underneath it, makes the catch. Don will tag from third. The throw over the cutoff's head, and Don steps on home standing. Blues take the lead on a sacrifice fly from Kosei Suzuki. A 2-1 game here in the 3rd.
Got the job done. That's all he needed to do, and he executed it to perfection.
And Kosei was just centimeters away from sending that baseball into orbit. It was a towering pop up to left. He still got it pretty deep into left field as they try to check third base to see if Jordan left early. He did not. It's still a 2-1 game as Gavin Smith digs in now. Smith grounded out to Enright the last time he was up. A slow roller to the third baseman who was able to make the play. First pitch, and Smith sends it straight back for strike one. Gavin, his batting average is just a tick above 200 at 217. 15 hits in his 69 at-bats. 3 doubles and a homer. Again, sent it straight back for strike two. The orange row a little more filled out. Kids still running around in the grass, per usual. 0-2. Smith with a chopper right back to the pitcher, Hui, who flips it underhand to first, and the side is retired. The Blues take the lead, though, with sacrifice fly from Kosei Suzuki, scores Don Jordan from third, who got there on an error from the catcher Maynard. 2-1 Blues heading into the fourth on the SLO Blues streaming network.
Batting now number 9, Gannon Snyder.
Gannon Snyder leads it off for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the top half of the fourth inning. The Blues have taken the lead 2-1 over Arroyo Seco. It was a sacrifice fly from Kosei Suzuki that scored Don Jordan from third. So now with the lead, Gannon Snyder takes the first pitch from Hawk Hill, 0-1. Gannon hit a base hit in the second and was stranded on third in that inning. Snyder batted ninth yesterday for the Saints. It went 1 for 3 with a couple of runs driven in. This one, missing low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Gannon Snyder.
Good looking curveball there from Hawk Hill. It doesn't quite have a 12-6 movement. It's more like 10-4. Almost stuck in the zone.
1-1. This one hit off the end of the bat, but it falls fast and right. Murillo, well into the grass, makes the play. Second baseman makes the squeeze, and there's 1 out in the fourth.
Next batter for the Saints, Matthew Maynard.
Here's Matthew Maynard. He made a costly error this past frame that eventually led to Don Jordan scoring on a sacrifice fly from Kosei. Oral Roberts, a rising sophomore from Allen, Texas. Maynard sends a line drive to center field. EJ makes the play running in. Quick second out for Hawk Hill. Easy work here for the Saints. And here comes Levi Medella.
Back-to-back innings where he's recorded back-to-back outs He's being really efficient with that pitch count, which is why the trainer's allowing him to continue in this game.
Here's Mandela, the left-handed hitting first baseman outfielder from Shorter University.
Hawk 35 strikes to his 17 balls, so thus far, 52 total pitches.
Sends it the opposite way, and a very efficient inning for Hawk Hill as Gavin Smith makes the play. 3 up, 3 down in the fourth. We head into the bottom of the frame with the Blues up by 1 on the Slow Blues Streaming Network in an inning brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. Bottom of the fourth is brought to you by our friends at Studio Design Group Architects. Whether you're designing, building, or planning a new space, Studio Design Group and their collaborative philosophy have you covered. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. 6-7-8 due up for San Luis Obispo. Brendan Comerford leads it off. He was hit by a pitch the last time he was up and came around to score the tying run. Comerford came in to score with the bases loaded when Sebastian Lopez was hit by a pitch. Brendan swings and misses at the first offering here for strike 1. A new pitcher came in last inning for the Saints, Nathan Huey, a lefty from UC San Diego. He's back out there for another inning of work. Estrada's day is done after 2 innings pitched. 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, and a strikeout. 0-1. Comerford fishes for a fastball low and outside for strike 2. Brendan is the team leader in RBIs, but his time with the Blues is limited. Though he leads with 21 ribbies, he will be departing from San Luis Obispo sometime later this week, per the request of Gonzaga. The 0-2. Comerford takes a nice-looking sweeper for strike 3. Brendan sat down on strikes, and there's the first out of the 4th inning. Second strikeout of the day for the Blues, and that brings up Charlie Caruso, the only Blue to record a base hit today. And we're halfway through the second time through the order. Caruso playing in his 8th game of the summer for San Luis Obispo, starting as the catcher tonight. And he's starting to catch fire here with a hard hit single up the middle that ricocheted off the mound and into center field. Caruso's first offering is a fastball and a called strike 0-1. Charlie donning Northwestern purple in his oven mitt, nestled in his back pocket, and his Evo Shield shin guard on his front right foot. Here's the 0-1. Caruso rolls inside of a slider that misses up and in. 1 ball and a strike to Charlie with 1 out. Caruso from Pasadena, California, and a graduate of J. Sarah Catholic High School in San Clemente, not to be confused with J. Sarah in Northern California. Takes a sweeper for a called strike here, 1-2. We do have a J. Sarah alum, though, in Nico Button. JSerra, Northern California, where Tom Brady and Barry Bonds went to high school. And Button actually committed to University of San Diego this morning. So congrats to Nico Button playing in a grad season. Here's another catcher in Caruso. He takes it low and outside, 2-2.
He's excited to go down south and play Euroball. He's also really excited for their data analytics program they have down there. It's a good program for that.
Button, an academic man, a valedictorian at JSerra. As Caruso swings and misses for strike 3. It's a drop third strike, but they'll call him out. 2 quick outs here, 2 quick strikeouts for Nathan Huey. And that brings up Sam Ardois with 2 gone in the 4th. Back-to-back Ks. Here's Sam, who reached on fielder's choice in the 2nd. Ardois caught fire approaching the halfway mark of the season, but has tapered off a little bit. His OPS regressing to 722. He has 17 hits in his 67 at-bats. Takes strike 1 here. The former Raging Cajun from Louisiana Lafayette, now in the transfer portal. And the Blues have had a handful of players hit the portal this summer. I think the Saints can say the same thing because they have a piece of merchandise that they wear all the time entering the stadium. 0-1. This one's taken a called strike and a nice pitch from Huey. They wear shirts heading to into batting practice, and it says Portal State, which I think is fun commentary on the CCL because this league is full of worthy players trying to look for another opportunity at the next level. The 0-2. Ardois swings and foul tips it off the head of Maynard behind home plate. We'll do it again at 0-2.
Most, if not all, players on the Blues and the Saints who are in the portal will find another place to play. Blues had a couple of commitments today, which we've already talked about, and Hawk Hill and Nico Button and Jaden Turner committed yesterday.
Yep. C-Sun for Turner. The 0-2. Ardois lines it up the middle, and it finds real estate for a base hit. Hard hit single for Sam Ardois with 2 outs, and a base runner 91 miles an hour off the barrel of Sam Ardois to keep the inning alive.
Gives an opportunity for Sebastian Lopez, who got an RBI in an unorthodox way his last time up when he got hit by a pitch.
Yeah, tied the game with a bases loaded hit by pitch, and Seabass reached on that. That made it a 1-1 game, and the Blues took the lead on a Suzuki sacrifice fly. So here's the Red Hawk from Seattle and Sebastian Lopez. Seabass takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Lopez from Henderson, Nevada, grew up in San Luis Obispo, moved to Henderson later in life, graduated from Coronado High School. Throw over to first, and it gets away. Ardois takes off to second base. Right fielder Milto gets to it. Ardois almost slips on the bag at second as he rounds to third. An error from the pitcher Nathan Huey, and a 180-foot mistake puts another runner in scoring position for the Blues.
Blues will take that. It's the second time that the Saints have given up 180 feet on one play. And an error that got Don Jordan from first to third. This time just an error from the pitcher.
Seabass, a rising redshirt junior at Seattle U. Drove in 8 runs this past season for the Red Hawks. The 1-0. Lopez crushes it to left. Snyder moves to his right, but makes the grab running towards the chalk. A hard line out, 96 miles an hour for Sebastian Lopez, putting those big biceps to work. But to no avail. Blues still up 2-1 into the 5th inning. We go on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top of the 5th inning, Hawk Hill back out there for another inning of work. And the Blues are up 2-1 over Arroyo Seco. Keon Musini leads it off for the Saints. He takes the first pitch below the zone, and ball 1 to Musini. Musini, the second baseman, was hit by a pitch in the second, and that scored Cody Turner from third, who hit a double in that inning to reach. Slider misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Keon. Musini came in to replace Jacob Freer late in last night's game, as Jacob was not paying attention to a throw down to second base and got hit in the face with a baseball. 1-0. This is a liner right to Sam Ardra, who hops and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. One gone. We'll bring it back to Lane Hayworth, the leadoff man, who's 0 for 2 today. Hayworth in the transfer portal. Speaking of portal state, after a couple of seasons at Wichita State University for the Shockers. Shows bunt and pulls it back as Brennan Comerford at third crashes, and he takes it for a called strike. Hayworth hit his first walk-off home run for Wichita State since Garrett Kosis connected for a 2-run shot against Kansas on March 23rd, 2022. That's a long time to not hit a walk-off home run. 3 years. The Wichita State program didn't see one until Hayworth did it last season. Takes it outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Hayworth. A native of Louisville, Texas, he's an outfielder and was named the 2024 American Athletic Conference tournament team. The 2-1. High pop up to center. Royal takes a couple hard steps in and camps underneath the fly ball to squeeze it and record the second out of the 5th inning. Here's Trotter Enright, who's 1 for 2 today. Another quick inning here for Hawk Hill.
And super efficient with that pitch count, and he's just throwing strikes. As we mentioned, it's kind of the name of the game. He's going to throw the first pitch to Trotter Enright, and it's going to be pitch 61 through 4 2/3, excuse me.
That's never been the issue for Hawk Hill, as this one's a called strike, 0-1 to Enright. He's always been in the zone. The issue has just been hitters hitting his pitches. Never had too many problems with walks, just kind of fastballs that cover way too much of the plate. 0-1. This is high, even counted, a ball and a strike to Trotter Enright. Enright is a dirtbag from Long Beach State entering his sophomore season. Had a good amount of playing time in his true freshman year at Long Beach. Started in 28 of 31 games that he appeared in. A .240 batting average with 8 ribbies. Swing and a miss on a sweeper for strike 2. That's the kind of swing Hawk Hill's been trying to generate all day with that secondary pitch. Hawk trying to earn consecutive 1, 2, 3 innings. The 1-2. Swing and foul tipped at home plate. We'll do it again at the same count.
That's not going to feel good. Trotter hit that one right off the bone on that front leg, that right leg. And he immediately threw his bat as he writhed in pain.
Again, Ryan and I have talked about it all the time. You can wear all the padding in the world, but somehow the baseball always finds a way to find the one spot on your body that is not covered. Trotter Enright is wearing a pad on his shin and on his foot, his front foot, the top of his foot where his shoelaces are. And still, the baseball found a way. Enright wearing bright yellow batting gloves with baggy pinstripe pants. I'm just realizing this. The Saints are wearing home white pants on the road.
Do what you do, I guess.
The 1-2. Enright with a bounding ball to second base. Murillo comes after it, makes the throw, and it's in time. Hawk Hill faces the minimum 2 innings in a row. We head into the bottom half of the 5th inning. Blues up 2-1. We're halfway through at Sinsheimer on the Slow Blue Streaming Network.
top of the lineup for the Blues. That would be number 50, E.J. Roy.
Bottom of the fifth inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues lead 2-1 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. And there's a new pitcher for the Saints. Liam Thatcher, the right-hander from Glendale Community College, faces the top of the order for the Blues. First pitch to E.J. Royal is a called strike, 0-1. E.J. is 0 for 2 today. Pop out to the catcher Maynard and a ground ball double play in the second. The 0-1. Royal takes it high, even count on a ball and a strike. Another tranquil night at Sinsheimer. Slightly more fans than yesterday, I would say. Yesterday's final attendance ended up being 773. 1-1. Royal is hit by a fastball inside, and he'll reach first. That is the fourth hit by pitch of the day awarded from the Arroyo Seco staff.
I mean, the Blues will take it. It's a base runner, and they could use more of those, only up 1.
So here's Diego Murillo, last night's walk-off hero, who hit a base hit off the hands right up the middle into center field, scoring Sam Ardois and solidifying a 10-9 victory over the Arroyo Seco Saints. That was the third walk-off winner of the summer for the Blues. First pitch to Diego, and he takes it high, 1-0. E.J. Royal hit the first one, a walk-off single in the left center. Zach Tolman hit a walk-off single down the left field line. And now Diego Murillo hit one up the middle last night against the Saints. 1-0. Another miss high, 2 balls and no strikes. Murillo played his first season of NCAA baseball this past year with Northeastern State in Oklahoma with the Riverhawks, but after a coaching change is now in the transfer portal and uncommitted. Murillo off the hand sends it straight up and out of play behind home plate for strike 1. A true local, born and raised in San Luis Obispo, graduated from SLO High, graduated from Cuesta College just up the road. And now back here for the summer. Royal takes off to second. Murillo swings. The throw 1 hops to the base, and the second baseman Mussini can't glove it. A stolen bag for E.J. Royal. Murillo went swinging. A designed hit and run play. The ball did not get put in play. And another insurance run in scoring position for the Blues.
The catcher Maynard is asking about Murillo stepping out of the batter's box and interfering with the throw. And I honestly think he has a pretty good case to make. Murillo was chasing a pitch away and kind of was leaning out over the dish. I think he might have stepped out over the plate. No call from the umpire. Yeah,
I would agree. There will be no extra time spent on that call as Diego sits in a 2-2 count. Here it comes. He flinches, they appeal, and he didn't go around. Full count now to the second baseman, Diego Murillo. Donovan Jordan stands on deck for the Blues with his team-leading .337 batting average. The payoff. Murillo sends it straight back and stays alive. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. A new pitcher in for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Nathan Huey's day is done. The southpaw from UC San Diego pitched in 2 innings, allowed a hit, 1 earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Here's Thatcher with a clean slate in his first inning of work. The payoff. Murillo pops it up to the right side. Milto, the right fielder who was playing shallow, will make the catch easily. Royal tags from second and sprints into third. The throw beats him. E.J. Royal gunned down at third base after tagging from second on the fly out from Murillo. And a double play. There's 2 outs in the 5th.
Ever want to make the second out at third? Blues did that right there. Royal takes himself out of scoring position for the most dangerous hitter in this lineup today, Don Jordan.
So it's Jordan with 2 outs. He's reached base safely in both of his plate appearances today. A hit by pitch in the first and a walk in the third. From the windup, here's the offering from Thatcher, and Jordan takes it, a called strike on the outer half, 0-1. Don starting in his 25th game of the summer for the Blues. In total, San Luis Obispo is playing their 30th today. The 0-1. Don takes a sweeper below the zone and an even counted a ball and a strike. This is their 22nd league game of the summer, too. As a righty gets loose in the bullpen for San Luis Obispo. Cooper Bagby getting hot. Jordan takes low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Kosei Suzuki stands on deck for San Luis Obispo. Blues trying to extend over the Saints in Game 2 of a 3-game series against Arroyo Seco. The pitch, Jordan scooches out of a way of the offering inside. 3 balls and a strike now to Don. A nippy night. His first pitch temperature was 64 degrees. We're at 60 already. The sun is still out. 3-1. Jordan with a half swing sends it into the Blues dugout. Strike 2. Jordan takes his time stepping in that right-handed batter's box. He's ready with an open stance, hitching with his hands in front of his face. The payoff with 2 outs. Don takes low, and that's ball 4. Second walk of the day for Don. He's reached safely in all 3 of his plate appearances.
It's a good day for Don Jordan. I mean, he hasn't put the ball in play, but you don't have to if they're going to work around you. Just provide for your team. He scored already today, so he's doing a good job just getting on base and being a menace.
Already has a .422 on-base percentage, which leads the team. Just adding on to that here. There's Kosei Suzuki, who drove in the go-ahead run with a sacrifice fly. He takes up and in, ball 1. Kosei making his 11th start of the summer for the Blues. 12 hits in his 46 at-bats entering today's game. With 2 outs, he's got Don Jordan at first, and he takes a slider high, 2 balls and no strikes from Liam Thatcher. Thatcher made 7 starts this past season at Glendale and 16 total appearances. 2 saves with 7 starts. Kosei almost hit by an offering high and tight. 3 balls and no strikes. Really a jack of all trades for Glendale. In 52 2/3 innings of work, a .427 ERA and a 1.46 WHIP. 3-0. Suzuki takes all the way and a 4-pitch walk to Kosei with 2 outs. Runners on first and second now. Don Jordan at second and Kosei at first. Here's Gavin Smith, who's 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground ball outs. But before the at-bat gets underway, here's pitching coach Matt Stone to talk to his right-hander.
And, you know, I don't want to play the what could have been game, but VJ doesn't try to get aggressive and take that extra 90 feet. You have the bases loaded with 1 out and a major chance to do some damage. Instead, 2 on with 2 outs.
That is true.
It's kind of the philosophy of the Blues on the base path, though. It was aggressiveness. So I had no doubt in my mind when that ball went to right that EJ was going to go. Just hindsight, it's 2020.
I thought there would be a twinge of doubt in my head because of how shallow that was hit. Milta was playing really in, and I thought it would be an easy throw for him, and I thought EJ would read that, but he took a gamble. Doesn't go his way, and it's Gavin Smith here with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Smith is first pitch swinging and crushes it to left. Snyder makes the play, running to his right, and the side is retired. 2 stranded on no hits, no runs, and the Blues still up 2-1 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Headed to the 6th on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. New pitcher on the hill for the San Luis Obispo Blues in the top half of the 6th inning. It's Cooper Bagby, the right-hander and a former Bulldog from Allen Hancock Community College, currently uncommitted after playing winter ball in the Palm Springs Power League. Due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints, it's Jax Ryan, Joey Milto, and Cody Turner. Blues up 2-1, over halfway through in this ball game, which is flying by at Sinsheimer Stadium. It's the newly committed Jax Ryan. First pitch he sees, and it misses low and inside, ball 1. Ryan is 0 for 2 today. Grounded into a double play during the first and flew out to center field in 3rd inning. Bagby comes set at his chest, takes a sign, now strides and shoots. And this will hit Ryan square in the back, a hit by pitch. Jax reaches on the HBP, the second one the Blues have tossed today. And in total, there have been 6 hit by pitches. That's excessive.
And ugly.
Yes. Well, Hawk Hill today goes 5 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 run was earned, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Cooper Bagby is making his 6th appearance of the summer for the Blues with Joey Milto up. Milto takes low, and it's a ball, no strikes. Bagby has made 2 starts for the Blues. Got an 0-1 record, 7 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 12 hits, 10 strikeouts, 8 walks, 11 runs, 6 of them earned. Omar Reynoso getting loose in the pen, though. A 1-0. Milto takes it outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Hawk Hill in early contention for today's dog of the day.
This is true. 1 earned run and 5 innings of work. The 2-0. Milto takes it low. 3 balls and no strikes.
None of the other stats are really going to jump out at you for Hawk Hill in today's game. Even only 2 strikeouts. However, just strike throwing, and on the other side of the ball, not a lot of contention with the hitters. I mean, you could say maybe it's Don Jordan reached base safely 3 times, 2 walks and hit by pitch.
Could be.
I mean, Lopez and Suzuki both have RBIs.
This is a game that started out wonky, and now at this point, what I have to say is this is one of the games ever.
Sure is.
Joey Milto in a 3-0 count. Takes it on the outer half for strike 1. Milto is 1 for 2 today. A single in the 3rd, stole a bag in that inning, and grounded out to second base. Runner shuffles off first. It's Ryan. He'll pick over there. A B move from Cooper Bagby. Still in a 3-1 count is Joey Milto. Joey in the portal. After 3 years at Bellarmine, he grew up in Greenwood, Indiana. Here's a 3-1. Swinging a foul tip, sends it straight back, and a full count now. Greenwood, Indiana. This makes me think of a new television show that's out that I think you would like, Ryan, because it's golf related.
What show?
It's called Stick. Okay. It's on Apple TV. It's set in Indiana, kind of. They start in Indiana, and then they migrate without giving too much away. But it's about golf. It's about like a golf phenom. Okay. It's like a dramedy. Ryan shuffles off first. Here's the payoff. And Milto goes down swinging. First strike out of the day for Cooper Bagby, and there's 1 gone in the 6th.
I have 2 notes for you about Stick. Actually, I'll say 3. A, haven't seen it, haven't even heard of it.
Okay.
B, I don't have Apple TV, so that'll pose an issue. And the 3rd one is I'm currently knees deep in The Bear, season 4, which is just immaculate.
That's my next project.
Yeah, you got it. It's honestly such an easy watch because an episode goes by 40 minutes and you're like, holy, that only felt like 10 minutes.
That's the problem, because I'm on a severance bender right now as Cody Turner steps in with a runner on first and 1 out. Pick over there, and he's back in time. Those are a little longer to watch. I have to dedicate more time to watch Severance, so I've been taking a minute.
For sure. Severance, it's a good show. There's times, too, where, like, when I watched it, I would have to go back and, like, rewatch things to make sure I fully understood.
Right. Turner swings and misses here for strike 1.
But that's a good show that I would recommend to anybody.
Brian, if you could come over, I have Apple TV.
That means I got to go to A-Town, though. It's a 20-minute drive for me.
You have a queen-size bed, Ryan. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2.
You heard it here first. Nate and I are having a sleepover, and we're going to watch Stick.
Boys' night.
Nate also has a hot tub, so that's enticing.
Now you're talking yourself into it. You want to see this show.
Can we get the TV by the hot tub?
That might be more complicated. Ryan shuffles off second, the 0-2. In and out of the mitt of Caruso behind the dish, but the runner stays at first. Yeah, Cooper Bagby humping it up there at 91 miles an hour.
He put a little extra oomph in that one to Cody Turner, and so fast as we've still seen Bagby throw all season.
Trying to bring the power against the power hitter Turner, who smoked a double in the second. He's 1 for 2 today. With 1 out, the 1-2. Ryan takes off. The pitch misses inside. Jack's round second. He looks for third. Caruso gets the baseball, and he will not throw to third. A stolen base for Jax Ryan, who advances to third on the wild pitch. The tying run now stands 90 feet away for the Saints. Ryan reached on a hit-by pitch, and he's at third on a wild pitch. Avoidable mistakes for the Blues. Infield playing in a 2-2 count with 1 out. Go-ahead run at third, the pitch. This is low and outside. A changeup from Bagby. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Lee University commit, after 2 cartoonish seasons at Antelope Valley College, digs in. Here's the payoff. This one popped up off the hands and sent out of play. We'll do it again in the full count. Gannon Snyder stands on deck. He's 1 of 2 today. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Here's the pitch, and it misses outside. That's ball 4 to Turner. 1 out walk puts runners at the corners for the Saints.
That doesn't kill you. That's a hitter who can do a lot of damage, and now you can get a double play to get out. But Dean Trainer's going to come talk to his pitcher, Cooper Bagby, and calm him down. Also probably talk some first and third strategy.
Was just going to say, figure out the strategy. If the base runner at first, Cody Turner, takes off towards second base, does the throw go down? Do they pump fake? Do they throw to third? Those are all the kind of things that are discussed in first and third situations. And especially for a team like the Blues that does not practice first and third signs that often, it's extra important to be on the right page and verbally communicate what the plan of attack is. So the meeting disperses, and the manager, Dean Trainer, heads back into the dugout. Aaron Millam, the manager, and the third base coach shared a meeting with his batter and 2 base runners too, and now they're back at their spots. So it's Gannon Snyder, who's only driven in 4 runs this summer in his 38 at-bats entering today's game. A single in the second and a blooper to second in the fourth. 1 of 2 day for Gannon, who batted 9th last night. The first pitch, and Snyder takes it in the dirt. It's ball 1. Gannon, a St. Louis, Missouri native, at 6'2", 215 pounds, in the transfer portal after 2 seasons at Wichita State. Starting to see why they call themselves Portal State. Arroyo Seco, that is. The 1-0. Snyder takes it, and that's a cold strike on the outer edge, ball and a strike. Average lead off first base for Turner. Middle infield playing back, ready for a double play ground ball. The 1-1. Runner takes off. The throw goes down to second base, and they got him by a mile.
We know that you would never.
Caruso with a bazooka guns down Cody Turner.
And I continue to say I think Caruso has the best arm out of all three catchers that the Blues have, and he just continues to prove it, a lethal weapon out of that right arm.
Pretty big out there. That was the go-ahead run that would potentially steal second base. Instead, he's caught by Charlie Caruso. The 1-2. Sent in the air to center. EJ charges in, loses his hat, and makes the grab. Cooper Bagby gets out of the jam and maintains the lead. 2-1 for the Blues. Into the bottom of the sixth we go. In an inning brought to you by SLO County Golf. Bottom of the sixth inning is brought to you by our friends at SLO County Golf. They offer 3 courses in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero, and they also offer beautiful scenery with affordable prices. Book your next tee time now at slocountygolf.com. Brendan Comerford leads off this inning. In the bottom of the sixth, the Blues are up 2-1 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Liam Thatcher, the right-hander from Glendale Community College, is back out there. Comerford swings and misses at the first pitch for strike one. Brendan today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Was also hit by a pitch in the second and came around to score the first run of the day for the Blues. Here's the 0-1. Comerford takes it outside. A floater from Liam Thatcher that never broke. 1 ball and 1 strike. Comerford scored on a bases loaded hit by pitch to Sebastian Lopez, and that's been a big theme in today's game. Here's the 1-1. Yanked fastball misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. The hit by pitch, we've seen 6 between the two teams today. Infield slightly shifted to the pull side of the right-handed hitter, and he takes another offering outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, we talked about it being National Ice Cream Month in July.
Pleasanton, California, get stronger and get ready for
And Comerford said his favorite sandwich is an ice cream sandwich, so this is his month. He gets a walk here to lead off the inning. And you know what they say about leadoff walks, Ryan?
Ill advised, it could come back to haunt you.
They sure can. That's the fourth walk of the day for the Blues, and it leads off the sixth.
And we should talk more about this ice cream sandwich.
We will.
Because, should we do it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the players, some of them watch our broadcast after the game.
Appreciate it.
And so today we were met with, calling Comerford fat, man? He likes ice cream sandwiches?
No. Caruso takes outside 1-0.
It's just the nature of, he was asked what his favorite sandwich is, and his answer was ice cream sandwich.
This was in a social media video
Yeah.
last season at Aloni.
Yeah, not an Italian, a meatball sub,
No.
anything like that. Ice cream.
Caruso waves and misses for strike one, and a 1-1 count now for Charlie.
But it's funny talking to some of the guys, just hearing about their ice cream consumption. They're like, give me a whole quart of ice cream and I'll eat it in one sitting.
Well, I made the statement that I could eat a Ben & Jerry's pint in one sitting. Caruso now in a 2-1 count. And some people thought that was outlandish, including Charlie Caruso, who's at the dish. He also said he's more of a cookie guy.
Yeah.
So maybe this discussion was not for him.
You know who's even more of a cookie guy? Sebastian Lopez, who is in the hole.
Swing and a miss here, and Caruso now in a 2-2 count.
He was talking about how sometimes if he's feeling in the mood, he'll go to Crumble and get a box of cookies, which is a 4-pack of cookies, and he'll eat all of them. You wouldn't even know.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like he eats cookies. The 2-2. Caruso takes it. It's a called strike 3. Charlie knew it as he hopped around in the lefty batter's box. And one out here in the sixth. Second swing and a miss, or second strikeout of the day for Charlie Caruso. And that brings up Sam Ardois.
Is ice cream your go-to dessert?
I think it is.
Yeah.
For a long time it was, but lately I've been getting the Scandinavian swimmers from Trader Joe's.
So good, man.
Yeah.
I can't buy those anymore because I'll eat a whole bag of those.
Yes. Runner goes at second. It was a hit and run, swing and a miss. The throw, guns down at Comerford, not even close. Brennan Comerford is caught stealing, and there's 2 outs in the sixth. Yeah, I was a big Ben & Jerry's guy, and then I was a no desserts guy, and then I was a Rice Krispie Treats guy. And then now, yeah, the sour Scandinavian swimmers, it gets wicked.
Did you say the sour ones?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You didn't know those existed?
No, I did. I always go to the normal ones.
Yo, 1. Ardois takes it now 0-2. See, I've never been a candy guy or a sour guy, but I had these, and
I wouldn't even say they're candy though. They're they're almost like a fruit
You would
snack
say?
in a
Yeah.
way. I don't know.
Here's the 0-2. Ardois takes it low and outside.
It's not your traditional gummy candy, I would say.
What would you call Gushers?
Oh my God, that's so tough. I don't know. I feel like it's a fruit snack.
There's a sugary syrup in the middle of the gummy. Here's the 1-2. Ardois takes a fastball nicely placed on the upper edge of the zone, but Thatcher doesn't get the call. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it is. It would be a candy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, but it doesn't feel like candy to me.
I get it. 2-2. Sam takes a curveball for strike 3. Liam Thatcher faces the minimum in the bottom of the 6th. Blues still up 2-1 though as we head into the 7th. Ryan Giacomini's got you the rest of the way on the Slow Blues Streaming Network.
Top of the 7th inning. Bottom third due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints, who trail it 2-1. Hawk Hill started this game and threw a incredible 5 innings, giving up just 1 run on 4 hits. Ever since then, it's been Cooper Bagby. First inning of work, he hit a batter, walked a batter, struck out a batter. He was able to get out with no damage done. Face the 7-hitter, Matthew Maynard, as he watches a sinker for a first pitch strike. Bagby, a 4-pitch guy. You see that fastball, sinker, slider change. We'll go to all 4 in any count. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. A slider there. Gets an ugly swing for Maynard, and it's 0-2. Bagby in the driver's seat, working out of the stretch. Comes set at the numbers. 0-2 slider, misses away.
Bagby's been humping it up there with that fastball, 91 miles an hour.
Pulls some extra velocity out of the bag when it's needed. See if he goes to it in the 1-2. He does. Misses up and in. It's 2-2.
I think part of what led to that caught stealing from Cody Turner was how quickly Bagby went to the plate. Of course, Caruso has a good arm, but still.
2-2, misses away, and the count runs full from 0-2 to 3-2 to the catcher, Matthew Maynard, who's walked and lined out. And yeah, I mean, it helps, obviously, when the pitcher has a quick load time, but Caruso, good pop time and a good arm. He also has good accuracy with his throws down to second. There's a 3-2, swung on and chopped on the infield. Comerford off to charge it. He'll glove it, throw it over to first on the run, and Sebastian Lopez will pick it out of the dirt for the first out.
It's so funny. We've mostly seen Brennan Comerford play first base for the Blues, and we never really realized how much we were missing at third. He is so coordinated at third base on plays like that. It's just so easy transitioning it from the glove to the hand, making the throw on the run. Looks good out there.
Today's attendance, 789.
Whoa.
I was 110 off. Nate, you?
I guessed 899.
So you were closer than I was.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I guess I already knew in my head I was going to guess 999.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that high.
I mean, I thought we were close to 1,000, so I was like, I'll just go right under.
Certainly, I thought a bigger crowd than last time.
Yeah, here's the 1-0. It's a called strike. I don't think there were only 15 more people here than yesterday.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. I guess we're wrong at the end of the day.
Or we can use our investigative journalism hats and crack this case.
I think I'm going to stick to calling baseball. Here's the 1-1. It's in the dirt. 2-1. I don't know, though. I mean, earlier in the game, before it got a little cooler, I feel like the orange row was pretty filled out.
That's what
I'd say maybe like 80%, and we know there's 700 seats in the orange row, I believe. 800 seats in the orange row. So we'll call it a good 75%. What is that, 600? That one is ripped into right field, but Jordan will range to his left and make the grab.
That's a good test to see, or a good benchmark to guess the attendance. You know there's 800 in the orange row.
Yeah. I think that might not be common knowledge, though, amongst the interns in the ballpark.
No, I think only we have that information.
I think we should keep it that way.
It hasn't helped us out at all.
I mean, I
well,
did
you
win.
Won.
I
you
did
won
win.
One, yes.
Yes. Got a nice Ancient Owl gift card actually out of it. First pitch to the 9-hitter. Ossini is a called strike.
We got to go to the Slow Blues watch party now.
I know. We only have 2 more away
That's
games,
right.
too, so got to get there in a hurry. Here's the 0-1. Change up, misses down. 1-1.
I'm a big IPA guy.
Okay.
So I'd love to go to Ancient Owl. I've never been, although I'd love to.
You don't have the luxury of being able to attend one of those, as that is ripped over the head of Jordan, but he will range back-to-back well-hit balls just right at Don Jordan. Will get Bagby out of his second inning of work. The Blues take their 2-1 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning here on the Slow Blues streaming network. 9-1-2 for the San Luis Obispo Blues as they lead it 2-1. Lopez will lead it off by pitch. That granted him an RBI as well as a lineout. Lineout was hit on the screws at 96 as he watches a first pitch ball on the outer half.
I think that's the hardest hit ball we've seen Lopez hit in a Blues uniform. Just incredibly unlucky. Snyder just right to him a couple feet to his right.
Lopez fouls that one down the third baseline. And we've seen a very odd number of batters hit. The Blues have been hit 4 times in this game, and they have hit 2 batters. 6 total in today's game, and 6 and some change innings of play as Lopez watches a slider for ball 2. The MLB average, you'd see about a hit batter every 2 games, and that's among both teams. A team plays a 2-game set against another team, 1 hit batter on average. Lopez hits that one pretty hard on the ground to the third baseman, Enright. Enright will throw it over to first, but it's in the dirt. Lopez is going to take off for second, and he is going to get there on the error. A 2-bag error puts Sebastian Lopez in scoring position for the San Luis Obispo Blues.
Yeah, it looks like the third baseman, Enright, just kind of rushed that throw. I think he had more time than he thought. Lopez got a good beat out of the batter's box, hustled the throw a little bit too much, and spiked it over to first. Seabass takes advantage of the errant throw and is now at second.
Just the guy you want up with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. It's funky man E.J. Royal stepping in. He's 0 for today. A pop out, ground ball double play, and a hit by pitch. E.J. has not recorded a hit since the game against the Santa Barbara Foresters on June 28th. For his last 13. As he watches ball 1.
There's 6 hits on the day, combined by both teams. The Saints have 4, the Blues have 2. Last time the Blues recorded a hit in this game was in the bottom of the 4th, same as well. And the last time the Saints...
Corners come in, expecting a bunt from Royal. He squares, and he gets it down. It's a beautiful bunt down the third baseline. The runner's going to move over. The throw almost offline, but keeping his foot on the bag is Mosini. Sacrifice bunt for E.J. Royal puts Lopez 90 feet away from an insurance run.
And sometimes when you're in a skid like EJ is in right now, putting down a bunt like that could be helpful. It helps you see the baseball a lot better. And to see one go down the way that EJ did, it was nearly perfectly executed. Though he was out on the sacrifice, it could still help him see the baseball better and maybe get out of the schneid he's in.
Blues up 2-1. Threatening to make it 3-1 with Sebastian Lopez standing on third base after he reached on a 2-bag error as Murillo grounds that one on the ground right to Mosini. He'll throw it over to first, for the second out of the inning. The infield will now back up with 2 outs and a runner on third. It's going to be a base hit for Don Jordan if the Blues are going to want to score.
Thanks for the question in the chat, by the way. I like that hit by pitch question. I want to offer another interesting nugget about today's game, too.
Let's hear it. As the first pitch to Jordan misses outside.
There are as many hit by pitches between the two teams as there are hits.
Yeah, wow, that's just the type of day it is here at the ballpark. As Don Jordan watches a strike that was not a strike.
And you know what's funny? The Blues have issued 2 hit by pitches, and they have 2 hits. The Saints have issued 4 hit by pitches, and they have 4 hits.
As Jordan almost made it 3 hits for the Blues, as that one just goes foul. Good sound off the bat, but he started the barrel a little too quickly. Taps his chest to the dugout, says, "My bad." He knows that he should have straightened that one out.
I mean, not necessarily his fault. Ambushed a pitch. Hitting is hard. Can't always control when you put it in fair territory.
1-2. Misses outside for ball 2. Deuces are wild to Bando DJ. Blues look to extend their lead here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. There's the pitch. Swung on and ripped through the 5-5 hole for a base hit. Don Jordan brings in Sebastian Lopez. Jordan's first hit of the day. He's reached base all 4 times.
That was smoked. Don Jordan caught a barrel, punched it through the 5-6 hole, 100 miles an hour. Triple digits for Bando, cashing in the 3rd run of the day for the Blues.
Now it'll give Kosei Suzuki a chance with Don Jordan on first. Kosei has had the luxury of every single time he's come to the plate, Don Jordan has been on base. He's always had an opportunity to get himself an RBI. He has one in today's game as he fouls that one up and out of play. Suzuki, ground out, a sacrifice fly, and a walk in today's game as he hits the 1-0 on the ground. Going to be a tough play for Jax Ryan. He's not going to make it. It's going to get past the first baseman, Medella. Rounding third and heading home is Don Jordan, and the throw beats him by a country mile. Officially, it's going to go as a hit and an error for Don Jordan, for Kosei Suzuki, but Don Jordan gets thrown out at home, trying to make it a 4-1 ball game. The Blues, however, do extend the lead on a Don Jordan base hit as we go into the top half of the 8th inning here on the SLO Blues streaming network. Blues lead it 3-1. Cooper Bagby back out there in his 3rd inning of work. Facing the top of the order in Lane Hayworth. He watches ball 1. Up and away. Bagby has another run to work with now. As Comerford has his toes on the infield grass. Here's the pitch, and it's low.
Wind blowing out to center field.
There's a righty now getting loose in the Blues bullpen. Reynoso stands on the bullpen mound, not throwing any pitches. He was warming up in the top half of the 7th inning as that one pops out of the glove of Caruso and is called ball 3.
Yeah, Reynoso had been warming up for a bit. I don't blame him to start resting a little bit now. He's thrown quite a few warm-up pitches.
Reynoso's ready to come in. The righty Let you know who it is when we get an ID. Still gets loose as Bagby pumps in strike one and a 3-0 count. Looks like it might be Spencer Gallimore. We learned a mountain lion, not a cougar.
Yep.
As ball 4 and a walk is issued to Lane Hayworth. First time he's reached base safely in today's game. Hayworth is hitless actually in this series thus far, but he has drawn 3 walks. As Dean Traynor is going to come out, and he's going to make a move to the bullpen. It's going to be the big left-handed pitcher, Omar Reynoso, for the San Luis Obispo Blues, as we will come back and tell you all about Omar's season thus far on the SLO Blues streaming network. Omar Reynoso, he's in for the San Luis Obispo Blues. The Bulldog from Allen Hancock faces Trotter Enright as Lane Hayworth stands on first base. So far this season, Reynoso has thrown 14 in the third innings pitched, given up 11 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 6 walks to his 9 strikeouts. Good for a 2.55 ERA and a 121 whip. Been a really solid reliever for the Blues this season. He was also a solid reliever for the Blues last season in the minimal time he was here. Lefty moved to first, almost in time. That was very close to being a balk.
Bang, bang play over at first. You're right. Kind of a hitchy movement on the rubber for Reynoso. Goes undetected.
I think he gets away with it because his normal throw to the plate is pretty hitchy as well. That one was pretty close. This time he comes home and throws a slider that is fouled away. Count evens up at 1-1.
Reynoso has been a reliable relief pitcher, as you said, Ryan. He's kind of seen a halt in appearances lately. But a pretty good season so far. You talked about the 2.55 ERA coming out of the pen, 2.55.
That one is hit softly back up the middle. Murillo's only going to have a play at first. His throw is on the money. Runner moves to second and Hayworth, but the Blues get an out on Trotter Enright. It'll bring Jax Ryan in with serving as the tying run.
We don't talk enough about that angle that Diego Murillo throws from. He's falling forward and his arm is coming from his back right hip. The ability to contort your body to accurately and powerfully get that throw over to first base is incredibly impressive on top of a runner coming at you from first, you got to make a quick decision to go to first base.
Arroyo doing it all with the glove, as in steps former Sun Devil and now Bear, Jax Ryan, as he watches ball one. Missouri State commit, just committed less than a week ago. He was 0 for 2, a ground ball double play, a fly out, and he was hit by pitch, then stole second. Reached third on a wild pitch and was stranded there. That was in the 6th inning. Cooper Bagby's first batter. There's a pitch there. There's a changeup that misses high. Reynoso falls behind 2-0. Blues maintaining a 2-run lead. Tying run at the plate. Bouncing off of second is Hayworth. Reynoso takes an extra long look and then comes home with the fastball and gets Ryan swinging and missing.
Ryan had a shoulder injury in the second half of his freshman season in 2024 at Arizona State, and that year was full of injuries for the Sun Devils. Ryan was one of them. They were lacking a lot of depth because they had a lot of key pieces hurt.
He sends this one the other way. On the run is Don Jordan. He'll catch it just barely in fair territory. Hayworth is going to tag up for third. It'll be an F9 for Jax Ryan, second out of the inning.
Now, run stands 90 feet away, but it doesn't tie the game, just brings it within one. The tying runner is at the dish, and Joey Milto.
Milto, 1 for 3 in today's game. He grounded out, had a single, and he struck out. First pitch to Milto is on the ground to Murillo. He knocks it down, pick it up, and will throw it over to first for the third out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Reynoso gets out of the jam. The leadoff walk does not come back to haunt the Blues. And they lead at 3-1. They'll try to add on in the bottom half of the 8th inning on the Slow Blues streaming network. Blues lead it by 2. The new pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints is Ethan Moran. The 6'2", 217-pound righty. Spent this last season at Golden West, where he threw 26 1/3 innings, had a 9 ERA with a 2.62 WHIP. in his 13 appearances, 24 strikeouts in those 26 innings pitched. This summer for the Arroyo Seco Saints, Moran has thrown 5 innings, given up a run on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Good for a 1.8 whip. He'll have to face Gavin Smith as he takes a big hack at the first pitch and fouls it back over the netting.
And before that, Moran's actually a D2 bounce back from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Did not play in his first season of college baseball in 2023. Went to Fullerton College instead before transferring to Golden West.
Here's the 0-1. Gavin Smith rips that one back up the middle. A base hit for the Blues. A leadoff knock. Back-to-back innings. Excuse me, that's 4 straight innings where the Blues have had a leadoff base runner.
I think the score doesn't really indicate that. Just 3 runs on the day for San Luis Obispo. That's only hit number 5.
Well, let me tell you how those leadoff base runners got on. Hit by pitch, walk, error, base hit. Well, just about every single way you can get on base, the Blues have done that to lead off the last 4 innings. Gavin Smith, pretty sizable leadoff first. We're now Brendan Comerford, who stands still in the right-handed batter's box and now ducks out of the way of that fastball up near his lip.
Comerford today reached double digits on the hit by pitch total this afternoon for the Blues. 10, his 10th coming in the second.
Hit by pitch in the second. He later scored. A strikeout looking in the 4th and a walk in the 6th inning. 1-0, misses away, 2-0.
We talk about batting gloves ad nauseum, but he has swapped out his batting gloves.
Swing and a miss. 4 strike 1. No longer the baby blue Bee Gees.
I asked him earlier, and he said, "Oh, there was a rip in them." I go, "What?" He goes, "I wasn't feeling them."
Couldn't make up his mind. Were they ripped? Was he not feeling them? We'll never know.
Said he wasn't playing well in them.
Here's the 2-1. Takes a pitch inside 3-1. So maybe some superstition. So wasn't feeling them, wasn't playing well in them. They had a rip in them. Just all the reasons to get rid of those baby blue batting gloves and go to these black batting gloves with some silver plastics on it as it's a hit and run. Smith taking off from first as Comerford fouls it back.
I've never been even a little stitious as a baseball player. And I feel like I've mentioned before how that's gotten me in trouble a few different times. Been accused of lacking feel. But I just think there's no correlation.
I feel like you just do you. Whatever works for you is what works for you.
Yeah.
Good full count. Swung on and fouled off. We'll do it again.
And I think there is an important distinction, too, because I'm a big routine guy.
Yeah.
And people, I think, confuse a lot of routine with superstition. Like, whenever I did my on deck or my batter's box routine, it wasn't, I have to do this or else I'm not going to get a base hit. It was, I'm going to do this so I feel more prepared for this at-bat.
Here's the 3-2. A slider, that's a called strike 3. Comerford doesn't agree as he goes down looking for the second time in today's ballgame.
And Comerford's had his difficulty with the home plate umpire today. The strikeout look in the 4th that he didn't like either. And on that hit by pitch, the home plate umpire thought he didn't try to get out of the way on that too. And so they've had some discussions today. There's some history between the two.
Now going to be Charlie Caruso, who also has struck out twice in today's game. Once looking, once swinging. Paired those with a base hit in the second. It's 1-0 to Caruso, the catcher in today's ball game. with Gavin Smith still standing off first after he lined a base hit back up the middle to welcome the new pitcher, Ethan Moran. Yanking that one down by the knees, 2-0.
To no surprise, Charlie Caruso's a reader. And when we had our Northern California trip, we stopped at Barnes & Noble in a mall. He was one of 2 players to get a book from Barnes & Noble out of how many guys traveled? 30 plus?
2-0 misses away.
And he was telling me about a book he was reading, Project Hail Mary. And I should have asked him today, but I wonder where he's at with that book.
Given how smart he is, he probably finished it on the bus ride.
Honestly, yes. A science fiction novel. A school teacher turned astronaut wakes up from a coma.
Runner goes to called strike. The throw down to second is not in time. Smith barely steals second base. Caruso watches strike one.
Yeah, the school teacher wakes up, turned astronaut, wakes up from a coma from amnesia, and gradually remembers that he was sent to the Tau Ceti system, 12 light years from Earth, to find a means of reversing a solar dimming event that could cause the extinction of humanity, Ryan.
Whoa.
Saving humanity.
3-1, misses away, ball 4 to Caruso.
Walks, save humanity.
Caruso now stands on first. Maybe we'll see him tomorrow in the dugout with Project Hail Mary. One leg over the other. Just like how, in the NFL, it's become a big thing when the offense is on the field, the defense will grab a book and read.
Yes.
Maybe on his day off, he'll just read until someone needs some catching in the bullpen or he has to come into the game.
Well, it's being turned into a movie in 2026. And as we know, Caruso's father, DJ, is a film director. He's not directing this. I got really excited.
He is just a big movie guy, however, so I'm sure that he will be watching Project Hail Mary when it comes out in March of next year.
Ryan Gosling is the headliner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ardois fouls the 1-0 back and over the netting, right into the orange row. Falls behind in the count. 0-2.
In some way, they're in like this massive loop of each other. And they float around the whole stadium looking for baseball.
Ardois trying to send a ball 12 light years away and make this a 6-1 ball game, but he's behind 0-2 to the new arm, Ethan Moran. Moran throws a slider that misses down. 1-2.
You like sci-fi stuff?
No. Can't say I do.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Nothing against Charlie. Not my cup of tea.
Me neither. I mean, I kind of assumed you weren't just because you weren't a big fan of Star Wars, even though you're a huge movie guy, as that one misses away 2-2. It's kind of been the reason why I've never watched Star Wars, just I'm not into the sci-fi stuff. I have given it a chance. Like, it's not like I haven't tried.
Yeah.
I've seen maybe about half of a movie, and I was like, this just isn't for me. Moran pitched against the Blues on June 19th, where he had a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. That was to Andrew Raymond, Gavin Smith, and Eli Henderson. Here's the 2-2. Ardois laces that one the other way for a base hit. Smith is rounding third and heading for home. He's going to score as the right fielder Milto bobbles it. An RBI single for Spice.
Reaching deep into the spice rack there, pulling out the cayenne.
Hot like pepper. Sam Ardois gets his second hit of the day, an RBI single that extends the lead 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Just a great piece of hitting. Waited on that pitch and then got one to drive the other way. It's going to be ruled officially as a double. A generous double for Sam Ardois, but why not? get that kid an extra base hit in today's game. As there's going to be a meeting at the mound with Moran, as Ardois stands on second and Caruso stands on third.
Aaron Millen, the manager, coming out there to talk to his pitcher and Moran. And Ardois sits landing in that 8 spot in this lineup, has been pretty clutch with the base hits. Had one last night late in the ball game in extra innings with 5 infielders playing on the dirt. They brought in a left fielder to play a second shortstop, if you will. And he put it over everyone's head. Scored the tying run.
Ardois on this season now has 10 RBIs. He's cracked double digits after his RBI single last night in the 10th and his RBI double here today. Guy who slugs for the Blues. He just struggles to get on base. That's why that OPS is so low. Came into this game with a 722 OPS, but a 433 slugging and a 289 on base. Now it'll be Sebastian Lopez with the infield in as Moran steps off, reassesses the pitch from the catcher Maynard. Lopez looking to pick up another RBI in today's game. He got an RBI on a hit by pitch with the bases loaded in the second. That got the scoring started for the Blues in today's game as he watches ball 1 inside.
Almost got hit by a pitch there, too. Seabass would love to extend the lead for the Blues here.
Hit a ball hard his last time up, 96 miles an hour. Excuse me, that was in the 4th inning, but lined it right at Gannon Schneider, as that one almost clipped him as well. Misses inside, 2-0. Reached on an error and scored in the 7th, and then in the 2nd, as I mentioned, hit by pitch.
Looking for hit number 2 on the summer. There's some real estate out there. You just loop it over the infielder's head who are playing deep or shallow.
2-0. Got a pitch he could hit, but swings and misses at the slider, 2-1.
A 2-0 slider, that's just devious. Who's sitting on that?
Lopez was not. He thought he got the fastball middle in, but instead it just ducked away from his bat. And it's 2-1, excuse me, to the first baseman. This time he gets a fastball and hits it high and not very deep out into left field. Coming home to score is Gavin Smith, as tagging up for third is Spice, and he will be tagged out at third. The run is not going to score. They're going to say Sam Ardois was tagged out before Gavin Smith tagged home. And we are going to go into the 9th inning. The Blues lead it by 3 rather than 4. It's 4-1 on the Slow Blues streaming network. Stepping in for the Saints is Cody Turner. With 3 outs left in this game, Omar Reynoso is out there as Turner is first pitch swinging and first pitch popping up on the outfield grass. Ardwal will make the grab for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. Saints have 2 more outs to try to score 3 runs if they want to extend this game.
Yeah, and because of that situation, it's kind of funny that we're seeing Cody Turner first pitch swinging here. The deadliest bat in this lineup, and he's already out.
Reynoso attempting to get a 6-out save in today's ballgame when he relieved Cooper Bagby in the 8th. Lane Hayworth was on first, and then got a ground out, a fly out, and then another ground out to end the inning. 4 straight batters retired by the lefty Reynoso, as that one is chopped on the ground to Comerford as he throws a missile to first base. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Blues are 1 out away now.
That was a dart from Brennan Comerford. My goodness.
No messing around from the third baseman. He wants to win this game. Blues looking to win back-to-back game for first time since they beat the Forsters in back-to-back games last weekend. One on Sunday down in Santa Barbara, and then on Tuesday here in San Luis Obispo. It's been over a week since the Blues have won 2 straight. Since then, a loss to the Riptide, a loss to the Forsters, a win against the Indians, 2 straight losses to the Forsters, and then a win to the Arroyo Seco Saints. As strike 1 is called to the catcher, Matthew Maynard, who serves as the final out in today's ball game. Here's the 0-1. Half swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says the first base umpire.
Your streak continues, Ryan.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, we're 30 games in. Not all of them have been home games, but I've never seen an appeal this season at home that has been ruled a swing. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a miss for strike 2. Blues are 1 strike away from winning their 2nd in a row against the Arroyo Seco Saints and winning the series. Fans bellow. They want some hot sauce. Here it is. Did he go? Yes, he did! The streak ends! Omar Reynoso strikes out Matthew Maynard to end the game. Called strike 3 on a check swing, appeal down to first base. And after over 20 home games, there's been a check swing that's been called a strike.
Where were you? when a
Document this moment, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Well, the Blues win this one at 8:45 p.m. A nice victory to secure against the Arroyo Seco Saints in the exact fashion they wanted to. You will sometimes want to win boring baseball games. Yes, it's more entertaining and more fun to win in walk-off fashion and to have it be close and win like they did. But, sometimes it's good to just get a boring one out of the way and just get a comfortable win against the Saints. 2 wins in a row for the Blues, and they're hanging on in the CCL North, which looks like this. The Crawdads are in first. Alameda is a game and a half behind first place of the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Then it's the Sonoma Stompers, who are a game out. That math is weird because Sonoma has played in more games than the Merchants. And then SLO is 4.5 games outside of first. And then Menlo Park is a game and a half outside of San Luis Obispo. So Menlo Park isn't gone completely, but the Blues inching closer to potentially getting a playoff spot.
Now let's go through the out-of-town scoreboard real quick. The Oaks beat the Bombers 6-5 at Sparky Anderson Field. The Forsters lost to the Riptide 7-3. That was at Eddie Matthews Field, so Forsters lose a home game. Merchants are currently beating the Sonoma Stompers 4-3. It's a big game for the Blues. They want the Stompers to lose and drop spots, and they can catch up. And then the Barons and the Philippines Baseball Group are playing right now, bottom of the 8th. Philippines Baseball Group up by 1, looking to get their 2nd win of the summer. Another team, an affiliate team that hasn't played a lot of games and has struggled, and looking to pick up a win against the Academy Barons, who the Blues will see in just a couple of weeks. But the Blues today, a good win. As you mentioned, trying to climb the ranks in the CCL standings and give themselves a playoff spot. And I think it was highlighted today by the pitching staff, specifically Hawk Hill, who is going to be today's dog of the day. I think so.
Yeah. We'll give it to Hawk Hill.
Either
Hawk
him
Hill.
or DJ. DJ 1 for 1 with 2 walks, a run, a stolen base, a hit by pitch, and an RBI single.
I like it. Man.
Or Artois, 2 for 4 with a base hit and an RBI double. I think it's Hawk, though. 5 innings of 1-run ball. That's good. That's really good.
That is good. Hawk Hill?
Hawk Hill.
Hawk Hill's your dog of the day, folks.
Clip it and ship it.
Clip it and ship it.
Hawk Hill's today's dog of the day.
Get him on the board.
The 12th dog of the day this summer goes to the pitcher who just committed. He'll play Division II baseball in Idaho as the Blues grab a 4-1 win. And Nate, what was your overall takeaway from today's game? I mean, I think there's a lot you can look at, but what is the one thing that you liked from the Blues today?
Pitching was steady. There weren't too many moments where there weren't too many oh crap moments for the Blues, and I feel like they tend to rack up a lot of those in CCL games where you're trying to fight for a playoff spot in the North. They were comfortable this entire game. There was never really a moment of doubt for me with this Blues team. They handled business correctly. Their defense, yes, had the 2 errors, but I thought they took care of business pretty well. They get the win against the Saints, and I think it was just, like I said, a boring win. And I think that was important for the Blues to just comfortably get this one, especially gearing up for Fireworks Day tomorrow.
Yeah, I think one thing to look at, too, with the pitching staff, a hit in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and then 6 straight innings where they did not allow a hit.
Yeah.
That came 2 of those innings from Hawk Hill, 2 from Cooper Bagby, and 2 from Omar Reynoso. But I think another thing to note, 0 errors today. A clean ball game, and the Blues get a win. I believe that brings their record to 3-2 when they have 0 errors. Correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes.
Yep. So the Blues, 0 errors, good pitching. The bats showed up when they needed to, and they get a win. Everything kind of, the stars align on the day before fireworks night.
This might be it for Brendan Comerford, dapping up all of his teammates down on the field. We were unsure about what his timeline would be, and I think today was it. Brendan Comerford exits San Luis Obispo. What a good summer for the kid.
A great summer for the future Bulldog of Gonzaga. And a heartfelt moment for the kid. He spent last summer here where he was a very productive bat. He batted about .230 and slugged really well, led the team in doubles last summer. This year, he's going to finish his career as a Blue with an average just over 300. A very good summer. One of just 3 qualified hitters for the Blues in CCL standards. And it's going to be a big loss for the Blues. They're going to lose Don Jordan as well at the end of the week. Tons of bats just leaving the Blues. And he will take a Polaroid with, I think, today's dog of the day. So he might be in the dog of the day photo.
There you go. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, Brendan Comerford finishing with an average just south of 300, a 411 on base percentage, a 378 slugging. That equals a 789 OPS. The team leader in RBIs in 21, 24 hits in his 82 at-bats, 23 starts for the Blues. We're going to miss you, Comerford.
Yeah. And that's going to wrap it up from us. Blues get a 4-1 win. Nate and I got to run down to the field now and say bye to Brendan Comerford as he departs. Blues will be back here tomorrow, firework night at the ballpark.
Let's go.
Tickets are sold out already, so can't buy tickets for that game. However, you can catch the fireworks show here on the Slow Blues streaming network. Nate and I will call the game, do our post-game show, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll leave the camera rolling, and we will turn the crowd mic down so we don't blow your eardrums out as you can enjoy the incredible fireworks show here at the ballpark. So that's going to do it. 4-1 win